My name is Jessica. I grew up in a two-parent family. However, they were always busy with work, so my grandparents had always showered me with love. Since both my mom and dad worked late, I mostly had dinner at my grandparents' house, which was near our home, during my school days. When my parents couldn't make it to school events, my grandparents were always there, so I never felt alone. I even have memories of both my parents and grandparents coming together for my sports day. Now, 8 years into my career and living alone far away, we still keep in touch over the phone. My grandparents always make sure I didn't feel lonely. I love them dearly. Without them, my childhood would have been boring and lonely. I always told myself I would repay my grandparents when I earned money. And this month, my grandfather is retiring. He's the head of an accounting firm and doesn't have a mandatory retirement age, but it seems he's retiring due to physical limits. I wish he had stayed healthy forever. I wanted to do something special for his retirement celebration, so I decided to invite my grandparents to a fancy steakhouse. I found this upscale steakhouse by asking colleagues and checking internet reviews. According to my colleagues, the quality of meat is excellent, sourced by discerning butchers. I haven't been there, but it's a steakhouse that's been gaining popularity recently. The young and handsome owner is also said to be a reason for its popularity. I worried about not getting a table. I decided to make a reservation under my name. After a few rings, someone from the restaurant answered.
Hi, Steakhouse Marcus speaking. How can I help you?
The casual tone was unexpected for an upscale steakhouse. The lightheartedness of the staff's voice on the other end made me feel a bit uneasy. Hi, I'd like to make a reservation. There's 3 of us, and I want the best table in the restaurant.
Sure, I'll need the date and your name, please.
I wanted to comment on the informal way he spoke, but I remember my colleagues saying it was a quality and popular place. I really wanted to take my grandparents there, so, despite my reservations, I gave the staff the details. The staff repeated my name unnaturally several times, but the reservation was successful, and I hung up and told my grandparents. Hello, Grandma? Remember I said we're celebrating Grandpa's retirement this Sunday? I've made a reservation at a restaurant. Please let Grandpa know too.
Oh, Jessica, thank you. It's a place your grandpa and I have never been to. We're looking forward to it. You are so thoughtful.
I could hear my grandpa's voice beside her. His voice was filled with excitement.
I'm looking forward to it too. I miss you so much, my dear. Can't wait until the day we meet again.
Their excitement made me happy. Actually, my grandparents are huge steak lovers, often dining out at steakhouses alone. This was a new place for them too, so I was excited about what kind of steakhouse it would be. Then, the long-awaited day of my grandfather's retirement celebration arrived. The 3 of us went to the reserved upscale steakhouse. The stylish black decor of the restaurant exuded luxury and sophistication. There were many congratulatory flowers at the entrance, including some from a well-known high-end steakhouse, raising our expectations. My grandmother looked happily at them. Next to it was a chain steakhouse, seemingly thriving with a different clientele. She commented,
Such a nice atmosphere. I love it.
Jessica found this place for us. I'm excited. Maybe the food here will be as good as the way they decorate the restaurant.
I'm excited too, since it's my first time here. But there are lots of good reviews here, so I think it won't disappoint us. As we entered, chatting and laughing, the owner at the counter looked up.
Welcome. Wait, is that Jessica?
Yes, I'm Jessica, but how did you know?
Wow, it's really you, right? I've been waiting for you to come. Please have a seat.
His overly familiar tone didn't sit right with me. I felt uneasy when I made the phone reservation, and it seemed my intuition was correct. I felt like he was harassing me. So annoying. The owner may be good looking, but his behavior was off-putting. The atmosphere of the restaurant was great. I thought it was a shame. Things started to get awkward. My grandparents and I did not dare talk freely. People around us started to pay attention to us. My grandparents next to me seemed to feel the same, their smiles fading. This is my first time at the steakhouse, so I shouldn't know the owner. Had we met somewhere else? I tried to recall, but nothing came to mind. It was disappointing that the atmosphere of my grandfather's retirement celebration was spoiled, and I responded a bit coldly. I don't know you. Have we met before? Have you ever recognized the wrong person? This is affecting my family's dinner. Then, the owner's attitude changed abruptly. The smile on his lips disappeared. He appeared annoyed.
Damn, you don't remember? It's me, Marcus. We were in middle school together.
Marcus? Oh, now that you mention it, I kinda remember. You've changed so much that I can hardly recognize you. I vaguely recalled him being quite frivolous and always chatting up various girls. So you became the owner. I think we made a reservation. Can we sit down? I wanted to get my elderly grandparents seated quickly, as they were still standing. I approached Marcus at the counter. Then, Marcus leaned forward slightly for the counter, bringing his face closer.
Let's go out for a drink sometime, or I'll cook a steak for you. It's nice to see an old friend again. It's fate, isn't it?
Marcus whispered softly. I felt a chill run down my spine. Sorry, I have a boyfriend, and I want to celebrate this event with my grandparents. So could you please give us some space? As I said this, Marcus clicked his tongue. Then he turned back to the computer inside the counter.
Ah, you made a reservation?
He scrolled through the screen with a mocking attitude. Yes, I did. I remembered you the one who answered my phone.
Are you sure? It doesn't seem like your reservation is here. Maybe you confused us with the steakhouse next door?
What? No way! I checked the name of the place and made the reservation over the phone. I tried to take out my mobile phone to check my entire history, but I couldn't find it in my bag due to the panic. Maybe I left it in the car. I gave up on searching for the phone and wanted to tell him that such a frivolous attitude could only be his, but I didn't want to cause the trouble at the celebration.
Do you even realize this is a fancy steakhouse? It's not a place for poor people. I doubt Jessica's salary is much, and there's no way your pensioner grandparents can afford this place.
I was on the verge of tears, having the special celebration ruined. I placed a lot of expectations on the celebration because I wanted to make my grandparents proud of me. Then, my grandmother came closer and stared at Marcus's face. Her soft hand gently rested on my shoulder, comforting me. She then soothed the hunchback with her hand. Thanks to my grandmother, I was able to regain my composure, which was on the verge of shattering.
Jessica, don't bother with him. This place is finished. I don't want to experience dinner at such a bad place. Let's get out of here.
My grandmother cast a cold gaze at Marcus.
What did you say, old woman?
Then my grandmother smiled with the corner of her lips lifted.
You said you trained for 10 years and opened this restaurant, right?
Yes, that's right. Surely you have read the article introducing my restaurant. It's been very viral on the internet lately.
Was it at the famous steakhouse in this neighborhood?
As she said this, my grandmother mentioned the name of a renowned old steakhouse. Marcus's eyes widened in surprise.
You understand now, right? How amazing I am for having trained there. I have a very good relationship with that restaurant owner. They treat me like their own son.
Marcus puffed his chest with pride. My grandmother watched him with a look of disdain, and then sighed before speaking to him.
I know the owner of that place where you trained. We're old acquaintances, so I'm well aware of that shop. And talking to you, I'm convinced of something.
My grandmother, standing tall beside me, looked sharply at Marcus.
The one who's been stealing their ingredients is you. Your shop's recent popularity, supposedly a good eye for ingredients, makes sense now.
What are you talking about? Don't accuse me. What do you know? I will sue you.
I can't believe you have the skills to source such good ingredients. You're still stealing them, aren't you?
Hey, old lady, how can I steal ingredients from a place I've left?
Well, perhaps there's an accomplice. Maybe someone gave you the electronic lock code.
An accomplice? Your imagination is wild. You are hired here to destroy my restaurant, right? I will call security to arrest you.
Oh dear, I can't just let you brush it off as imagination. Maybe your staff is being questioned by the police as we speak.
Huh? What do you mean? Stop lying.
Marcus's attitude started to shift gradually. Initially condescending to my grandmother, he now looked at her, sweating and terrified. Then my grandfather, who had been observing the exchange, said,
The owner consulted me about filing a lawsuit. My daughter is a lawyer.
My grandparents were extremely upset when they found out something was wrong with their best friend. They were determined to bring this case to court and to find justice for the restaurant. I distinctly felt the eyes of the other customers in the restaurant focus on us at the mention of a lawsuit. Some customers were filming with their mobile phones, and my grandfather discreetly asked them to stop. Actually, my mom works as a lawyer. Because of that, my grandparents received a consultation from a friend who couldn't ask my mom directly.
So, what if she's a lawyer? Do you have any proof? You can go to jail for slander, old lady.
My grandmother responded promptly. She was like a detective, cornering the culprit, and I felt proud of her.
My daughter advised the owner to secretly install surveillance cameras. You didn't know, did you? Considering there might be an accomplice, even the employees weren't informed. Your face is on that footage. I saw it yesterday with my daughter, so I remember it clearly.
No way. I don't trust you.
My grandmother raised her index finger and continued.
Just wait. My daughter will be suing you soon.
Marcus, pale-faced, pleaded with me.
Jessica, help me out. We go way back. If you liked me in middle school, please help me.
What? Don't make things up. I don't even remember who you are. It happened a long time ago.
You always skipped our middle school reunions, right? I heard from a friend that you liked me back then. You rejected me because you were too shy. I knew it.
That makes no sense. I had never attended a middle school reunion. I couldn't believe such false rumor was spreading about me. I was quite popular in middle school. Maybe that's why some people were jealous and spread bad rumors about me. I almost forgot about all that. I didn't know who this friend was, but they shouldn't spread such nonsense. I felt an urge to punch the man in front of me. My whole body was trembling with anger. I deeply regretted booking this restaurant for my grandfather's retirement celebration. Yet, Marcus looked at me as if he was certain I would help him. His confidence was baffling, only increasing my resentment. Marcus dropped one of his well-shaped eyebrows, a look of someone aware of their own attractiveness. He might be considered handsome if he didn't speak, but knowing his character, he appeared empty to me.
Why should I help you, Marcus? I never liked you even for a moment. I clearly remembered Marcus from middle school. A boy who flirted with girls as easily as breathing. One day, when I was writing in the class diary, staying late in the sunlit classroom, Marcus entered and sat next to me, casting a shadow over the diary. He smiled, despite having another girlfriend at the time. Won't you go out with me? I've been paying attention to you for a long time.
Back then, I brushed it off. Don't say such things when you have someone else. I remember you now. Marcus, the worst. I'll tell your girlfriend. She will leave you. She deserves to know someone better than you.
Damn it, Jessica. You always look down on me. Even when I offered to date you out of spite at the time, I canceled your reservation. It's all your fault, damn it.
Why are you so arrogant, Marcus? It's your own fault. You can't be the center of the universe all the time. Stop being delusional. Marcus collapsed on the floor, curling up inside the counter.
This wasn't supposed to happen. It's Jessica's fault for rejecting me. Who do you think you are to refuse me?
He whined pitifully. I exchanged glances with my grandmother, who shrugged in disbelief. In the distance, we heard the sound of a police siren. Perhaps one of the customers had called the police. The siren stopped in front of the shop and the door opened. A police officer stood there with many people peering from behind. He quickly understood everything and entered the restaurant. Marcus was then taken away by the police officer. As he was being led away, Marcus looked at me as if wanting to say something. I waited for an apology, but he quickly looked away. I doubted he would ever reflect on his actions. He's still as wild as these days. Memories of him suddenly rushed back into my mind. Marcus was sued, and his upscale steakhouse went under. It seemed the cause was his actions being exposed to the public. Afterward, I heard Marcus was job hunting, but he never seemed to land a job. The fact that he was sued appeared to be a burden. Perhaps if he had shown remorse and tried to turn his life around, someone might have helped him, but given his attitude, it was unlikely anyone would. All restaurant owners were afraid that he would continue to steal ingredients and recipes, then betray them to open a competing restaurant. It was an extremely inhumane action. After Marcus's case was resolved, I decided to have a proper retirement celebration for my grandfather. Congratulations on your retirement, Grandpa. Sorry for the incidents that just happened. What an eventful day. My grandparents and I were at a different upscale steakhouse. This was another place they hadn't been to before, and they seemed excited about it. Inside the counter, a quiet young man was calmly grilling steaks. This restaurant had also opened recently. It's a small steakhouse, run solely by a young owner. The important thing is that the guy is very gentle and polite, which makes me feel comfortable.
Jessica, thank you for arranging such a wonderful retirement celebration.
My grandfather smiled gently. Grandma said,
You've worked hard.
The three of us exchanging smiles. Even the owner behind the counter gave a soft smile.
So good. The best steak I've ever had.
Really? It's very delicious. It's a pity Olivia couldn't join us.
Olivia is the name of my mom. It can't be helped. Mom is busy with her law practice. I'll take her here on another day. Don't worry.
Jessica, you're so kind. I'm so proud of you.
Hee hee, yes.
I blushed at being called kind. My grandparents have always praised me since I was little, but I still can't help but feel shy when I receive compliments from them. Oh, we haven't toasted yet. Trying to hide my embarrassment, I picked up my glass. My grandparents did the same. Then, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheers! I led the toast, tilting my glass. As my grandparents tilted their glasses too, a modest sound rang out. It felt like the signal of happiness.